What is up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again with the red color set review for That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime. Or is it That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime? Whatever. Anyway, I'm here with Andy and Carmen today, and our special guest, Ryan Wibberly.
Ryan, don't be rude.
Oh, whoops. I'm supposed to say something. Hi, guys.
All right, anyway, let's jump into it. Andy, get us started.
Sweet. I don't know who this character was. I don't have the hot seat pulled up.
Shuna,
yeah.
Shuna. When she's placed to your stage from hand, you choose one of your opponent's front row characters, -500, and it is a self-tap salvage brainstorm. I think I would prefer the effect of like a Remy, like a 500 power every turn, as opposed to just a -500 once. But this could be pretty damaging in the early game, just to throw this down early, like behind when you're plussing level 0s and just run something over.
I love salvage brainstorms.
Yeah, I mean, in a deck where your level 1 combo is 2 cigarettes on a stick and you're milling, salvage is pretty good.
Tap self salvage brainstorms are just good in general. Great cards.
Yeah.
Like the first effect has like a lot of really cool and like fringe applications that makes it like a bit better than a Remy. But I can see like the argument why Remy's better than like this or like a Remy style.
Yeah, it's like +500 every turn is always good, but I don't know. I'm a slut for salvage brainstorms. It's good red fix. Like, I think the Dean argument is very applicable here, where it's like salvage brainstorms. It's like you always know what's available in your grave. You can't screw yourself by milling the card that you possibly wanted to search in 4 cards, which we can say is statistically improbable as much as we want, but we all know it happens.
Am I the only person who likes search brainstorms?
Search brainstorms Go ahead.
They're not. Sorry, they're like search brainstorms are good. They're good. That's how I would word it. Like they give you like immediate compression with every climax you hit, which is like a really cool thing, like deck speed. But like you don't always necessarily know what you're getting with a search brainstorm. It is one of the downsides to it. Like, and then that becomes worse as you get into like second deck onwards.
And it's so weird in Weiss, right? Because you read it and you're like, oh, deck search for every climax I hit. That sounds awesome. But the way Weiss works out, having a guaranteed sort of what your pool of cards to select from is very strong.
Yeah. I love consistency.
This sounds like a topic for a different video. I don't want to be here all night.
Yeah, but
just knowing
good brainstorm
helps you make better and like more well-informed decisions. Whereas like a search brainstorm, your deck is random, so like what you get is a bit more random.
Yeah.
Right, like usually.
A- because it's not Remy. The edge case plays are cool, but I prefer Remy. I'm gonna stick to that. It's a good brainstorm.
Is a brainstorm an A on this channel? Those cards are so standard.
You're right. I guess B+, right? Like, I prefer salvage brainstorm.
I'd like the yellow one way better. What'd I give the yellow one?
The yellow one's definitely like super sack. If you get the right cards, it's awesome.
We all gave. Oh wait, no, that's not the brainstormer. Which one was the brainstormer?
It's Rare Ellen.
The Ellen, yeah.
Right above you gave it an A. Everyone else gave it a B.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Native American looking one.
Still a good card.
Yeah, I'd give this like a grade lower.
She just has face paint. All right, I don't want to get into that. All right, next card. Brian.
All right, what is this card called? This is Milam. The contents are children? ? On play, you can pay 3 if you do stock swap your opponent. It is also a level 0 reverse bomb.
One of in literally every single deck that you play.
Yeah, swap is a good effect to have in your deck, just in case.
There's an argument that like pay 3 for stock swap is like not an ideal cost. Usually,
it's definitely not an ideal cost.
Yeah, because it's like it's a very heavy investment. But like just having stock swap in your deck or in like even in your set in general is already good enough because it makes good players have to play around it, or else you get free wins.
Rat,
yeah.
Rat.
The threat of the stock swap.
The fact that you can stock swap.
The fact that you can grab it, right? It's on a character. That's why you're paying the premium. And it's on a level 0. It's a bomb. Like, it could be worse in terms of cards you play.
Yeah, like even if you open this early, it's still just a bomb. So it's like not a horrible card to be playing as like a 1, maybe 2. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know. Milam's on the card.
Yeah, I said it. I said it last time too, but I like cards like this with really really fringe powerful effects, but they also have a high floor to them. So like worst case scenario, this is just a suicider, and suiciders are like perfectly good at level 0, like perfectly acceptable. And then you have the other really good effects stapled onto it. I like it a lot.
Stock swap might just kill your opponent, and you'd be happy to pay 3 when it kills your opponent. So, easy one-off. Alright, we got the off finisher Milam. We've talked about this a bit in our other colors here, and it's good to finally get to this card. When it's played from your hand to the stage, reveal top card, as long as it's a character, deal 1 to your opponent. When your other character attacks, gains 1,000 power, so it might swing in at 11.5. You swing it in the last lane. And when your battle opponent becomes reversed, you can pay 3, and if you do, clock kick. So it's pay 1, clock kick, off finisher, swings in at 11.5. That's pretty damn good. You need that clock kick. You don't care what the cost is.
Yeah, it's a good supplemental finish. Even if you want to go for like triple remover plays, you can play this in the back with like your additional stock and get additional burn 1s to increase your kill range, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. This is just a really versatile card. The fact that it's on play and also on reverse burn and gets power, like a lot of very synergistic effects on one card. I really like it a lot.
Like one of the issues with like this type of card is that if you're behind, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It's like that could be an argument against it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it doesn't like help you stabilize or like help you like it can potentially help you catch up, potentially, but like, not really. Like this card is very much more of like a win more kind of card that goes along with your finisher turn.
Yeah, it's like a I need to kill my opponent this turn card.
Yeah, it's like I'm personally, even though like it's a really pretty SP, like I don't personally want to run this card, or like, I don't run it anymore, just because like as I mentioned before, Slime wants to play for like compression and healing and like a 2-turn kind of kill, or a 2-turn kill rather than like a 1-turn kill, and this card doesn't really play into that game plan very well. So I usually don't play this card, and I try to play into like more healers or something. So, this card's a little bit worse in that regards. Like another like issue, I guess, quote unquote issue with this card is like as you're gonna see as we go through red, red kind of sucks in slime. So like color can also be an issue for this card if you're trying to like splash it in or whatever.
I guess at least it's level 3, so you have time to get there.
Yeah, but sometimes if you're trying to fit red into slime, you have to sort of warp the deck around it, or like warp certain slots to fit red, and that's not always ideal.
This definitely doesn't seem worth warping the deck for on its own, especially since there was that orc in yellow that also comes into play burn.
Well, yeah, it's one's mill too. This one's guaranteed. Well,
yeah, I mean this is a better card, but this one's also off color.
I'm gonna give it the B. It's a really cool off finisher. So it has a smattering of synergistic effects.
Yeah, it's good in a vacuum. In context of slime, it's less good. If we get set 2, which we should, TM, this card potentially gets a lot better depending on how the deck goes. So yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's a cool card for them to have. All right, Wibbs, you got the combo.
All right, the last doubler for red is a 3/2 Benny Maru. All it does is climax combo with the standby that you can see on the screen. When this card reverses its opponent, if newfound power is in your climax zone, you can burn 4 and then choose another one of your characters, and they gain +1 soul for the turn.
Standby finisher.
Fixes the main problem of standby. Get that soul push damage.
Yeah. It's a standby combo finisher that doesn't cost any resources to do, and can give you soul modulation to compensate for playing a standby at 3. if you need it.
I do love soul modulation. My favorite thing in this game.
So Wibbs, is this the you are like the resident slime expert. Is this the standby that they run in slime when they do run standby?
If you run standby, it's empty. This card sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like, okay, this card doesn't do anything but the combo. That's all it does. So if you put this card in your deck, you're saying you're going for that combo, right? But if you're splashing, like as we already saw in yellow, like the 3/2 Rimuru is just a good card inherently, and that's like a card that.
But yeah. This would plug. The Rimuru is a level 3 combo. This would plug.
Like, yeah, so like playing like if you do like a climax mix with standby wind and pants, then playing this like is just eating slots that aren't doing anything for you. And then to top it all off, this card doesn't do anything but the combo, so it's just a dead card most of the time.
I wish this was like a 9k that healed, even with this. Like, if at least it could snipe a lane.
At least it would be somewhat more playable. See, I was thinking of just like, if you're already running the standby, why not? But you're always going for your other level 3 combo, and there's a climax swap in this set, so...
And standbying that level 3 combo lets you shit out those Rimurus with the markers that he also heals, so it's like, why even bother?
If this card did something else, there would be a bit more of an argument for it, but it doesn't do anything because the combo is costless, and they thought that was like good enough to just print on a level.
On 3. Reverse too.
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I think this card is not good, and it's not even good in like the context of if this set gets another, or if this series gets another set. Could this card be good? I don't even think it'll be good.
It just doesn't do anything. Like, that's the biggest problem.
I think if they get another set and there's like some reason why you wouldn't want to run the Rimuru finisher, if for whatever reason you want standby but you don't want that level 3 combo, then you could just run this incidentally, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, I guess the other incidental benefit here is since this combo's off of standby, you probably are playing some sort of standby assist, whether that's a 2/1 global assist or a level 3 back row assist. I don't know what slime has, but you're likely running that, which helps this land its reverse. I guess.
Yeah, there's a 3/2 Shuna assist that we're gonna get to in a little bit that will help you get the reverse.
So there's that at least.
All right.
So underwhelming. That's a double road too.
Yeah.
Don't open that one.
Moving on.
We got this Rimuru. When she's placed on the stage. From your hand, mill 2 cards. If there's a climax card, choose one of your opponent's front row characters, give it -1000 power. And then when it gets reversed in battle, you can pay 1, put her in your clock, and look at 3 cards from the top of your deck and take a character, put it in your hand. So it's a on death, look at top 3 Ricky. Is there like a specific name for that type of Ricky, or is it just...
Nah, check 3 Ricky.
Check 3
Yeah.
Ricky.
This card sucks.
You have the other Ricky that's like
you
way
have
better.
A real Ricky that does the plussing effect better. Like the only argument for this card is that it hyper mills you, so you can hit a better refresh timing. But this deck doesn't have mill problems, so like I don't see the point besides needing red splash.
In context of this set, I would literally just give this card an F. There's no reason to play this card over the other Ricky. Like, card's just garbage. This is a waste of a rare slot.
You would have to really, really want to be like... You would really need the red fix to want to run this, right?
Or just the mill in general. Like if you do value the mill, then this card becomes better. But yeah, the deck doesn't have mill problems.
Actually, do you run this in the builds that splash red just to get red fix?
No. The cards that give you your red fix are like the cards we've already covered, like the brainstorm, the spot swap, and then the 3/2 Million, and sometimes the 3/2 Shuna, which is coming up. That's usually all you play for red, because those are like the good red cards.
Yeah, red being
I was
bad.
forgetting about the brainstorm.
Yeah, is like a whole thing. All right, moving on, Brian.
We have Milim, Loss of Will. At the beginning of your climax phase, your opponent may put the top 2 cards of their stock, so they can pay 2 stock. At the start of your climax phase, your opponent can pay 2 stock. If they do, this card can't front attack for the turn.
Okay, so I was brewing this morning because I bought this set the other night. And is this worse than the Xion? Or is it better than the Xion?
There's an argument. So this card gives you red fix, which can be important depending on what you want to play. It's always a 4K. It's like you never have to worry about the detriment. But this card scales worse the longer the game goes, and it scales worse than the Xion does.
Yeah. So that was my argument.
Even early game, you're giving your opponent a choice.
Well, it's very rarely ever going to come up early game. Early game, the card text is basically irrelevant. It's just a vanilla. But in the late game, if you run into situations where you have to, you draw this and it's a chump attack, or you have to chump with it, then it gives your opponent the ability to potentially anti-damage you, and I think that's absolutely horrible.
It also gives your opponent a potential stock out.
Yeah, that was my whole thing, is the upside is say you cancel a bunch at level 0 randomly, and your slime, you have the ability to mill, right? You don't get punished for running this as your oversized, because it doesn't lose power, because obviously you want to build as much stock as you can at level 0, if you've sacked extra turns. But later in the game, your opponent could just randomly pay 2, and then this card doesn't deal any damage.
Yeah, I don't know. People will argue and say that that will very rarely come up, but it is something that can come up. And at that point, what's the point of playing this card when you have an option where you have cards that do the same thing without that detriment?
Yeah.
Maybe if you're like me, and if you want a red fix, but you like the yellow brainstormer better, I could see myself play this. But outside of that single scenario, it's so easy to manage the stock condition on the Xion, on the traditional 4K. Why bother with the potential that this could lose you the game or just be really shitty at some point when it's just so fucking easy to manage the other one?
Yeah.
The thing this card has going for it, and I'll give it a C for it, is that it's red.
Yeah, I'm in the same.
And if that matters, it matters.
If you need red,
I guess
if you need red and aren't running the brainstorm.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I don't think Slime wants to play plussing zeros. I think they're a waste of space in a deck that's tight as. So I don't really see the point of playing this card ever.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I think we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Just me. All right, we got this Shizu. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, choose a Demon Continent character in your waiting room, return it to your hand, and then ditch a card. So when it gets reversed, it's a drop salvage, or free salvage, quote unquote. Yeah, it's a big eh.
In a deck with Blue Gate, it'd be kind of nice to sequence this as your last attack, just in case you trigger an unwanted pants. You could pay out the climax from your hand. You know what I mean? You could turn that climax into another card. But,
that's not wrong, but at the same time, why are you dedicating slots to a conditional hand that has a bad timing?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
I hate the card. I was making a case for poor Xion here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it.
At a time or at a timing where hand fixing isn't as valuable.
Yeah, I think that's my big problem with it.
There's not green in this set, is there? If there was bar or pants or some heavy bar and pants build, I would like this a lot better. But even then, I still probably wouldn't want to run it.
A D plus, maybe. I don't know.
I don't like it.
I think it's almost.
I think this card has potential, like with more support, because I don't think like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say this card's bad, but I can't find justification for saying it's good. So I'm gonna give it a C-. I think there's potential.
Yeah, if they get a second set, maybe there's some way to make this card work. But
It's reasonable. I can jive with that.
otherwise, eh. Alright, next.
It's 1-0 million climax combo with the door that you see on the left. Are we calling it door or are we calling it comeback?
Door is fine.
Okay.
Door, gate, comeback, whatever.
Alright. So climax combo, on attack. If you have, instead of greetings in your climax zone, and you have 5 or less stock, you can check up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a demon continent character, add it to your hand, and then discard the rest. So it's the Jean combo from Apocrypha, but on a rare.
Just a normal Magro, right?
Nah, it's just a normal conditional Maguro.
Rock, yeah.
Gate, that's nice.
Yeah, off gate.
The like in a vacuum, the combo itself is like that. This card itself is like fine, but in the context of slime, it's bad because it has to fight against the Shizu combo, which is really good.
And
Yeah,
also on attack.
He just seems to be in such a tight package with a bunch of other pretty solid cards.
If you're not running that package, I guess it's fine.
If you're like, okay, so then like the other issue with this card, if you wanted to run like a budget deck or like a million waifu deck, is that like the stock condition fights against what you want to, like fights against what the other top end of like the budget deck option wants to do.
Yeah,
Like
the like big burn.
2 million is a huge, it's like a heavy costed burn restand card. So you want to amass stock, but then this card wants you to not have stock to combo. So like they fight against each other. So even like a budget deck has issues.
That's awkward, yeah.
Stock that early
Yeah.
is like, you're probably not going to have issues with it that early in the game.
Well, it's
like,
about doing it. It's an on attack combo, so you can do it later if you wanted to, but it has a condition.
The stock condition makes it so looping this card becomes, or looping this card is worse, even though like looping Maguro itself is already worse as. But yeah, like I don't know.
I don't think you're really looping this though. It doesn't set at a meaningful level of power. It's just, you fire the effect off once, it dies. You move on with your life.
Right, but like combos like these are cards that have the potential to be looped. So that's something you should be looking at. And then because of the stock condition, like you can't really loop this kind of card. Which is a
that's
detriment.
fair.
I guess so. That's a good point. Ryan convinced me. I'm going to give it the C+.
The
You
foil
want
is
to jump in the
beautiful,
C
though.
boat with us, Brian?
No, give it a B because the foil is the best foil in the set.
I mean, considering that the point was made that this has anti-synergy with the only deck that you'd want to play it in, I probably will pop down to the C-boat with you guys.
Alright. Moving on.
Next card, we got Rimuru, Creating a Grudge. When you use this card's backup, it's a 2,500 power backup, by the way. When you use it, you can discard 2 cards to choose one of your higher level opponent's characters and waiting room it. Just a pretty standard discard 2 waiting room counter. Don't like it. I think that's a pretty big cost.
It's your normal
I really
anti-change.
don't like it.
I don't know if this is the set's like primary anti-change or whatever, but it's.
I think people like have a hate boner for Ditch 2 anti-change counters. And, like they think they're inherently bad. But like I personally think that Ditch 2 is like fine if the deck can afford the hand. So like for example, Konosuba is a deck where like Ditch 2 is perfectly fine. Yeah, but it's slime, it doesn't work. You just can't really afford that Ditch 2 hand usually.
Yeah. Not great. I'm still going to give it the C, though. Anti-change is strong. Alright, next.
Alright, we have Shuna for everyone. This is a 3/2 2,000 power frontal assist. When this card is played from hand to the stage, you can choose a Demon Continent trait character in your waiting room and your hand. Rest this, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put them back in any order. Seems like a pretty solid standby target back row assist with additional utility stapled on. Cantrips if you have to play it from hand.
I like it. That's a pretty good assist. The tap effect is like pretty decent. It helps you make more informed decisions on the turn. Cantrip is good. The issue is this deck doesn't really care about the power, or like doesn't really need it. So why would you? Or what's the point of ever really playing this card?
Seems like you'd rather just stand by your Rimuru early.
Yeah. Like you usually want power for your early play board at level 2, but like this card only works in that sense if you play stand. So like typically if you want an assist at 2, you just play like the 2/1 Chizu assist. So like I don't know, anti-synergy.
Yeah. I really do like the rest effect though. It has a lot of incremental value, like every turn.
Yeah, you can do some really cool stuff with the top check to rearrange effect. Like you can like that 3/2 milling we looked at. You can actually like loop that card with the set has like an on play, so you can like loop the burns with that in combo with this. That's like some neat synergy. But yeah, I don't know. In context of what slime is right now, this card's like not that good.
Yeah. It's fine though. The good, frontal assist.
It's okay if you're leaning heavy into standby.
Yeah, like this is definitely a card that gets better as more support comes.
Yeah.
I think minus is a good way to go with this. I think maybe we should try to do that in general. Like if the card like in a vacuum, it's a B, but if it's like extra good in the set, it's a plus. If it's poor synergy, it's a minus.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I could agree with that. A minus, yeah.
I don't know. You can cut that part out if you want, Carmen, but like
I don't care.
I just like going forward. That seems like I feel like we kind of give minuses and pluses just kind of randomly.
I mean, it depends. It's all subjective, but all right, we can move on to the next Milim here.
Oh, is this me? Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
It's a 3/2 milli. I'll play you heal 1, and then climax combo with the second door. Pay 5, discard 3 cards from your hand. At the end of this card's attack, if Power of the Demon Lord is in your climax zone, you may pay cost. If you do, burn 2, and then stand this card.
So this card made a lot of waves when it first got revealed because it was sort of like a 1-card restand, burn 2, attack again card.
You only burn the 2 once, right?
Yeah, it's attack, burn 2, restand, attack.
Yeah, like the potential finishing power on this card is like it's not terrible. It's like pretty decent, especially compared to like burn 2 on attack. But the cost is
Yeah, pay 5, ditch
pay
3
5,
character.
ditch 3.
You need a reverse, but the fact that you're never going to be able to attack with this first, probably. This is always probably going to have to be your final attack. If they have some way to like anti-damage you, or I don't know, have some way to mess you up.
Yeah, it's susceptible to like any form of anti-damage,
like a foreclosure or something. Foreclosure would dunk this.
Yeah, it requires interaction from your opponent. But like the good thing about this card is like at worst this card's just a healer, and like that itself is fine. So if you're playing like doors in slime, like you want to just play like 4 doors, you can like play one of this, and then it gives you an additional healer that gives you finishing power, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine as like a one of if you incidentally want to play door. I think it's okay.
Spicy finishing option.
As a one of.
Yeah, you're never gonna be like comboing more than once because the cost is too heavy. So you just play the one copy. If you
Okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of don't like the fact that you're not going to be able to dual lane it. I think that really limits it.
I think it's just
Any
a
chance
B.
that this would have had of like being able to be played over the Rimuru is just
funny enough, like the Japanese lists right now, and like the lists that were played at the WOC tournament that just happened recently. If you guys followed that, were like 4 pants, 4 door. They didn't play any of the Rimuru, and then they just played one of this. And they went heavier into the early plays, more healing, more mid game options. Like they played more of the stock generation cards at 1, more of the fairy, that kind of stuff. And they played like a more
you know what, that would let you
kind of deck.
that would let you play like the 0-2 we just looked at. I don't remember her name. The 2000 assist that lets you scry the top 2 cards. Like there's more incentive to stand by an assist like that instead of just another Rimuru.
I guess.
If you want to focus more on like holding board as opposed to just being uninteractive.
No, I think the combo itself is fine because, like I said, at worst this is just a healer, so it's something you can play if you just want doors instead of like the wind trigger in your deck, and that's fine.
Just too costly for me. Don't think it's very good. You can only do one. It's going to be impossible to do 2, and it's just so costly.
It is at the end of the attack, but yeah. All right, moving on.
Yeah. Who is this? We have Swordsman Kurobe.
It's a Benimaru.
Wrong card.
No, Benimaru,
It's
daily
Benimaru.
training. When you play your climax, choose one of your characters, and that character gets 1,000 power for the turn. When your other character gets reversed in battle, choose one of your characters, they get 1,000 power for the turn. Well, I guess it's like a married life with the revenge power effect, right?
Deck doesn't need power though.
Yeah, it's like,
If you're running Pants Gate,
like a C.
maybe.
I don't know. It's fine, but like I don't know where it fits in the deck.
I don't play this card.
Even if I was a deck that needed power, I don't think I would ever play this. I don't think it does enough. Like it does enough immediately to warrant slots.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything on your turn. The revenge killer.
I mean, I guess it does something on your turn and their turn, right? Like 1,000 power on your turn when you play the climax, and then scaling power on their turn, depending how reverses go.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm not a fan, but I mean, it's a case for the card, I guess.
All right, next.
All right, we have Swordsmith Kurobe. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, look at the top cards of your deck, put them back in any order. When you play a climax, you can bounce him back to your hand. If you do choose a character, that character gets a soul. Seems like a standby synergy card to me.
Yeah.
Card is very much a play standby with me kind of card.
Manipulate the top 2 cards of your deck to try to trigger it more and push the damage that standby does not provide.
Yeah.
Freeing up a spot for your standby.
Yeah.
If you're leaning hard into standby, this card's fine.
I think this card's really good if you're leaning into standby. This card does like everything you would want out of like a utility card in a standby deck. Just Slime is not a standby deck.
This is really similar to the Chizuru we saw in Fujimi on the other set review, where it's like that one's on play surveil, and then the same effect, which is better, but this is fine.
There was something else in this set that we did today that had like an on-play surveil.
I don't think so. I think that was in JoJo's.
No,
you know what? We did the JoJo's deck tech before this. Yeah. That's where I was getting tripped up.
Hero King or whatever his name was on play. Rearrange top 3. The bouncer.
Yeah, I was just getting confused with JoJo's. These two shows are just too much alike. I get them confused sometimes. Yeah, I like that he pops back to your hand and opens up a spot for a standby, and I like rearranging the top two. Although I think in standby, I think I would rather have the surveil one instead of look at top two.
Oh, well, see, the thing with like rearranging top two though, like like the argument with the standby is that it makes sure that you never trigger standby first. So like that itself, that by itself is pretty powerful. Whereas like the surveil or scribe, whatever you want to call it, that like doesn't give you that potential.
Yeah, that's true. This can make sure that you don't trigger standby first.
Yeah, I got you. So just so you don't bury it.
I think that's worth the plus for me.
I am a fan of this card. I think like these two effects by themselves are very good. It's just Slime doesn't take advantage of this card yet.
Yeah, maybe with a second set.
Do you think you need to play this in standby for it to be relevant, or do you think you could just use this as a repeatable scry too?
Yeah, you could, but I think it loses a lot of value if you don't play this sort of card with standby.
If you're playing pants,
you can still choose a character to give a soul to.
Yeah, you can. You can. But like
pants on your one, you can loop climaxes, I guess, and scry repeatedly and push damage.
Yeah, potentially. It's just like your board becomes a bit more congested in that regards if you don't play this with standby. Whereas like if you're playing this with standby, this card becomes your standby slot, so like you don't have to deal with that board congestion, or like the board congestion is less of an issue with how like the deck is geared, I guess is a way to word it.
Do you play this in the greedy 3 climax build?
No.
Yeah, no, not at all. You don't have the slots for it, I don't think.
Because it gives you red fix.
Nah.
No.
I don't think it does enough without standby synergy, or like without like good heavy impact standby synergy.
Fair enough. Probably
like imagine this like sort of card in like Fujimi, I guess, is like a way to look at it. Like imagine if like 8 standby Fujimi had, or if this card was in 8 stand, and this card would be like infinitely better. You probably played a couple copies of it, and like you don't really run it in Slime.
All right. Well, we can move on. Speaking of standby, got this 1-0 Rimuru. Frontal 500 assist climax combo. When you play this standby, choose one of your characters and it gets 1 soul. It also has act, pay 2, rest this. Choose a character in your waiting room, return it to your hand. This is trash, actually. This is garbage.
It's meant to be like a back row assist that.
You know what? No, this is
incidentally gives a soul.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a D. I agree.
I would rather play that standby empty than ever play a copy of this card, actually.
Oh, hold on. If you're just playing the standby empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we said earlier that you don't want to use the level 3 because it just competes with your other top end combo. If you're just running empty standby, maybe you could tech this in?
What does it do for you?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
What is it doing that justifies those slots?
It just gives 1 soul to 1 character.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I'd rather just run it empty.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Oh, that's really shit.
Yep.
They could have done so much better with that one. That's so disappointing.
All right, next. I think this is Wibbs.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Also, I lied. There was a level 1 bomb. My bad. I completely forgot about this card. It's a 1/0 Kurobe. Once per turn, if you play an event, he gains 2k power, and then it's a level 1 Suicider.
It's fine. Not great.
I mean, it's a bomb. It exists.
Yeah, it's a C-. You don't have to waste time on this.
I
First
think if
effect
you,
is weird.
I think if there's going up to 5,000 power, should let it clear a level 1, and then let it live back to be alive on their turn to then maybe get another reverse as the bomb. So maybe if you play this in Mask in the same turn, it could be hit a relevant power level, but probably is probably not really worth it still.
I'm not a fan of bombs if they don't progress like your game state in an ideal way. It's like like an example of like a bomb that I do like is the Shelter Bomb in Overlord, because the deck wants to be attacking into empty lanes as much as possible to stock charge. But like there isn't really like heavy synergy or payoff having bombs in this deck. So like this card loses a lot of value in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. For like good bombs in English, like Chica because it's a climax combo, Sakura because it has the Encore from the Shiro, and then of course like you have like the Cosme bomb that gives a ton of power on play. Like I feel like bombs have to have a really strong synergistic
Goblin
effects.
Slayer Witch.
Yeah, because that's a top check 2 rearrange. Or on attack, you choose your trigger. Whatever.
That card's
Same
insane.
thing.
This card
doesn't do anything.
is average. Alright, next card. We got Shrine Princess Shuna. When you play her, you can discard a card. If you do reveal the top card of your deck, choose a character of level X or lower in your waiting room and add it back to your hand. X is the level of the card you reveal. I don't like that you have to discard before you reveal the top card. You have to like discard something and then know what you're gonna.
Well, this is Rico on play.
It's literally just Rico on a stick.
Yeah, but you play Rico for other reasons.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Well, she's incidentally part of your thing, but I mean in Japanese, you just play Rico.
Like, yeah, so like you can make the argument that like you just play Rico because of the double early play, but like even if you look at Japanese lists where the double early play has been nerfed into, you still play Rico because Rico by herself is a completely broken, stupid card, and like the Rico effect is absurd hand fix value. So like having Rico effects on a stick are inherently good because the effect is inherently good.
Yeah, it's just like
Really?
It's just like at best free drop salvage.
I guess it's like a free drop salvage, but you don't necessarily know what you're getting. See, the thing I like about Rico is that you care about the number of the top card of your deck. You want to check before you go to your attack steps so you can order your attack.
Well, this reveals your top card.
Yeah, you still get that though. Like you still get the top check information with the hand fix out of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Sunshine does more with that, though. Like, playing Sunshine, I need to know the top card of my deck to know what I'm burning for. With Slime, I really don't care about the top card of my deck that much.
Yeah, but it's trigger information. And you reveal a level 3, you can just grab anything you want,
like,
and then
it's literally free information on top of free utility.
Yeah.
But then it's 3,500 and it concedes board.
Yes, that is the downside to this card, is that it's not a good attacker and you have to concede board for the hand fixing. That is like the only detriment towards this card, I think.
Yeah, the only downside is the bad power, I think. Otherwise, I really like the first effect, especially just because, I don't know, it's just on play free hand fix.
Yeah, like, typically when I play
Like,
red,
you have enough other ways to fix your hand.
when I play red and slime, I try to play a couple copies of this card as much as possible. I think like the utility you get out of it is really important, and like for slime especially, the later on in the game you go, the less like hand fix utility you get, or like the less hand fix utility you essentially have. It's like having this card helps alleviate that issue and can help you sculpt better for your endgame.
Aren't you going tricolor at level 1 then?
Or no, you play this later in the game, I think.
If you play the fairy, you would have to go tricolor. It's like it is hard to fit. Like that is another issue with the card.
Hmm.
It's like the whole Love Live Sunshine thing again, where do you run the Mari? It's a really good card, but you're stretching your colors really thin so early on in the game.
I don't know. I feel like you aren't fielding this very much at level 1. This is like a later in the game card. It's like, obviously it's going to give up board no matter what level you're playing it on. But that effect is really strong and gives you free information. You can ditch anything, turn it into, at worst, a 0 from your grave. And I don't know if you guys have been watching. Slime has pretty good level 0s.
Yeah, like the floor of this card is you grab the CX or like the ditch CX Salvage, and then you can grab the top card of your deck. That is the floor of this card, and that is really good.
Because you already know what the card is, so if you can grab the top check and grab it if you need it.
Any other inputs or thoughts about this?
No, I really like it though. I'm used B+. It's pretty good. It has some color issues, but
It's
fine.
I don't know. I just think you probably have a bunch of other ways to salvage, other than having to run this weak card.
Doesn't hold board.
Doesn't hold board.
Next card. Alright, we got some dank cards coming.
Ooh, she looks badass.
Shizu, Ifrit Manifestation. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, mill 2, if you hit a climax, you can put the top card of your opponent's deck in the waiting room. You do choose a card in your opponent's waiting room and put it on top of it. This card changes. Pay 1, ditch 2 Demon Continent characters from your hand. At the start of your climax phase, pay the cost. If you do, change into Supreme Spirit of Fire Ifrit from your waiting room.
Huh. Lets you go for a free to level 0 if you stand by it.
Broken.
I mean, this sucks, right?
Yeah, this card doesn't do anything relevant. Yeah.
Pretty meme.
Yeah, we can talk about it a bit more when we talk about Ifrit, but yeah, like even if you play Ifrit, I wouldn't really play this card unless you're trying to Ifrit turn level 0, which sounds terrible.
Yeah. Puts you so far behind. Jesus. Alright, yeah, let's just talk about Ifrit. Alright, so we got Ifrit. Believe in Ifrit himself. When this card attacks, you can pay 2 and ditch 2 Demon Continent characters, and also choose 1 card in your clock and put it into your level. When this card attacks, you do that, and if you do, perform the following effect 3 times, burn 4. Notably, this card in Swiss will cause a double loss, and in Top Cut will cause you to lose. Even if you'll kill your opponent with it if you die when this effect activates.
Is it worth taking 6 guaranteed damage to deal 4 3 times?
If you double loss in Swiss, it is.
I mean, if you just like think about it in terms of like trade-off, you take 6 for them to potentially take 12. So like theoretically, you win in the trade. I don't know. I people like to meme.
I don't know about that. They're either taking 4, 8, or 12.
People like to meme about this card and like say it's fucking OP or broken or whatever because yeah, you burn 4 3 times. I think this card sucks. Honestly.
Yeah, it does suck.
It's a card.
Do you know for sure about the ruling for Swiss tournaments?
Yes.
Because that actually does give a little bit of viability, I think, to it. Not to run the whole package, but just to run this card.
I don't know about like tournament-specific rulings, but the way that like effects and check timings work are there's no check timing between paying the cost of an effect and resolving the effect. So when you pay the cost, you resolve the effect before there's a check timing, And check timing is where like the game sees if you lost the game or not. It doesn't happen immediately. So you would pay the cost, you would level up to level 4, and then you have to finish resolving the effect, and then the game checks if you win or lose. And in that case, both players lose at the same time, so it would be double loss.
Maybe be a very, very good, scummy, but good tech card for a Swiss tournament setting then. I know, like, I don't know how much Yu-Gi-Oh lore you know, but in Yu-Gi-Oh's tournament scene, there's been a few times throughout the history of that game where there's been very offensive cards, like Ring of Destruction, Self-Destruct Button, things of that nature, that you just throw these cards in like aggressive combo decks, right? And you either win with your OTK and kill them, or you say, well, I didn't make it, so I'm just going to draw the game and try again. And having kind of like this Hail Mary last-ditch effort to be able to say, well, I can't possibly win this game, so let's see if I can force you to also lose.
And that's so scummy. Like tying tying in Swiss, in Weiss specifically, is like one of the worst possible things that can happen, because like it gives you horrible resistance. Is it resistance? That's what the official card term is.
Yeah.
It makes your resistance horrible, and it gives you 1 point instead of the 3 points, I believe. So it completely screws you over, and you probably never get a top. And then you're making your opponent also never have the ability to top. And I think that's scummy.
Yeah, it is really scummy. Yeah.
It's getting a +1 to your record instead of a +0, which can end up cutting you into for better breakers for you. I'm not saying it's like a admirable thing to do, but like, does that not make this like a worthy tech card for a Swiss setting?
If I'm playing Swiss, I'm playing to win and to make top cut. I'm not
playing to double loss.
You know, maybe in games like Magic or something like old school Yu-Gi-Oh, where there was a lot more like interaction. If you're just completely fucked, you can slam this and just maybe draw the game. But
notably,
Weiss, you could just as easily just slam a climax and just kill them.
In top cut, this results in your loss if you use this.
So you're just running a dead card most of the time.
Yeah, that's the ruling. In top 8, the player that resolves this effect loses. In Swiss, it's a double loss. In top cut, it is a loss for the player that resolves the effect. If both players are over.
It's just Weiss is such a, you know, it can be such a quote-unquote sacky game at some points. Like, you would want to go for the high roll anyway. It's like, you want to go for the 3 points, not the 1. You want to just slam the climax and turn everything sideways rather than
the blue climax, the 3
maybe fuck both of you. Yeah. Wibbs made a good point there. This is I don't even know how to evaluate this then. The card's pretty fucking terrible. The only good thing about it is that you can draw a game, but that's not even good.
The cost on the the cost for the damage you get is like pretty good. Like I'm pretty sure that the level aspect eats a lot of the cost for how much burn 4 or 3 times should actually cost. So like if you look at it that way, it's not that bad. It's very resource efficient to burn 4 or 3 times. That's good. But yeah, I don't like it.
Is this maybe a really good card like going into your final turn if like you're at like 2-6 or something?
Well, you still lose.
No.
You still double lose.
What if I'm at like 2-6?
Yeah, if you
I use this card, I go to 3-5. Or
you mean at 2? Okay.
You try to kill your opponent from level 2 or something with this.
Maybe if you had like stock swap Fumio tools to like make that active.
If you're both at level 2 and you if you're both at level 2 and you just need to go for a kill, this might be fine. If I'm going from 2-6 to 3-5, saying I'm going to kill you this turn.
How often do you actually kill someone from level 2 in Weiss without like a stock swap or a Fumio effect?
Yeah, without playing.
Okay, well, how often in Weiss do you get deal 4 3 times for free? That's a whole new landscape, gentlemen.
I still think it's bad.
Can't wait till Slime gets a Fumio in set 2.
Fumio
I
free.
don't know. I just don't know how to rate it. I think there's potential to it, but
It's still
I don't
bad.
know. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking a bad card.
Probably. I mean, the fact that the rulings around this card cause you to catch double loss or loss in top 8 cause it to not be great. Let's just move on.
No, you do double loss. You don't tie. I'm sorry. I misspoke earlier. You don't even get 1 point. You get 0 points. Both people get 0
Yeah,
points.
you both get 0, yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that. This card sucks then. Okay.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then the whole you don't have to worry about if you play this card, you're literally just being a scumbag. There's literally no benefit to you.
Yeah,
draw with this card.
you just double loss, yeah.
It's a double loss. It's not a draw. Oh my god.
Next is a Benny Maru card. When this is placed from hand to the stage, reveal the top card of your library and reveal the top card of your library. For every soul trigger on that card, all of your opponent's front row characters get minus 1,000 power. And then when this is placed from hand to stage, you can choose a card in your hand and put it into stock.
Second effect is much more relevant than the first.
Yep.
Although it does reveal the top card for free.
Yeah. You don't play like any stock souls or anything in Slime, so you don't really get any value besides like maybe a minus 1k sometimes out of the first effect. So and like because it's conditional, it's not something you really want to bank on. Yeah, being able to convert hand to stock is pretty good if you have excess of hand for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't know. And in what Slime does right now, that you don't actually like you have a lot of hand, but you don't have excess hand where you can abuse these sort of effects. So I'm not particularly a fan of it for Slime.
Yeah.
I think it's a much better hand to stock option than the orc dude from earlier.
Obviously, you don't have to give up so many slots for it, but like this card doesn't give you like the extra potential compression that the orc package would give you.
Yeah, the orc package would give you 3 markers as well as
But
stock.
you also incidentally just have the potential to high roll and neg your opponent's board 1,000.
Fair. Yeah, it's whatever. I still think it's bad. I don't think you ever play this card.
Probably not. I don't know. I gave the orc an F. I think this is at least somewhat playable if you want to.
I think the
hand
hand
to
to
stock
stock
option.
effect, like it is really good and has the potential to be even better, like with more support. So I'm not gonna give it a D.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe. What's the floor on the card like? If you just play this card as a 500 that negs 1,000 power to their whole field, that's not bad.
But it's not a guaranteed neg 1,000.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed.
But if you hit, it's not. I'll give it the plus for that. That's like a pretty big upside. If you're just playing it as a shitter, and maybe you put a card from your hand in your stock, and maybe you neg their field 1,000, that's 2 maybe effects.
Maybe some
Odd
bad.
or one of those maybes will be good.
Anyway, next card. This is a drop search. That's all I have.
Look at that art. Look at how adorable it is.
Yeah, this is an adorable drop search.
Pretty.
We've got a good Fang.
If the Fang is
B plus for
Cute little
Fang.
Fang.
I love Million. She's the best.
She is pretty good.
And in all seriousness, drop searches are like usually good effects. Like I'm all for playing them, but the set has Mask, which is a drop search on steroids.
You're right.
So they also have Search Ricky.
Yeah, I mean it gets worse in this set. However, I'm gonna stick to my drop salvages. Drop salvages are broken. If Ricky is S, drop salvage is B plus. All right, whatever. Vanilla, gross. Brian, tell us about this next one.
All right, we have Milim. Wait, me or Ryan?
Wait, what?
Where is it?
No, Ryan just did one. You gotta go. We're going backwards now. Whatever.
Regular Hot Spring. On play gets 50 soul till the end of the turn.
Broken. kills your opponent, guaranteed.
It's holding
This
all their
card
climax.
is completely broken in standard, where most people or some people opted at not playing any climaxes, and it's an instant win.
Yeah, busted.
Is that actually a thing? Do people actually not play
Wait a
climax?
second. Wait,
yeah,
Konosuba is white side, right?
Certain
Kind of super fun.
certain like decks in standard opt to not play any climaxes because they want as many slots to combo with as possible. Like that is actually a thing in standard. Like if you look at some standard lists, some people play like 2 climaxes just to stop plus 50 soul cards.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So broken and standard. Because it's just Schwarz side plus 50 soul.
Yeah. It is a 107k. There is like some quote unquote synergy because there's a card that pumps 1k per soul. So you can make this a 58k on attack to destroy Futaba.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Fuck Reinhardt.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
Reinhardt.
Until Reinhardt runs away from you.
You can just
Oh
win.
shit, yeah, he can do that.
Wait. You can just win Reinhardt. That's what Ollie taught me.
Aw, why you gotta
Sorry,
do that?
that's too bully. Alright, next card.
We played the Uno reverse card, so this one's mine. We got Rimuru getting struck by lightning. 500 power for each other demon character and hand encore. This is your standby target of choice, I'm betting. 175 with hand encore.
That's one of the two. That's good.
Yeah,
It is the ideal 1/1 standby target. So if you play standby, this is a good card.
yeah.
Bad Celica, but
Not Silica.
still
it's fine.
Celica.
Yeah, it's a minus for bad silica, actually.
Well, I put minus because you don't play standby in this set. Standby like actually just sucks. Or like actually playing like a quote unquote real standby deck kind of sucks. So
I'm getting some real mixed signals here. I thought you played 3 different climaxes.
Depends.
Isn't that the play?
It depends, but like
Depends how
even
greedy
if you
you wanna be.
even if you like do splash standbys, you don't play it as a standby deck. You're playing the standby combo to like high roll with the Rimuru. It's like you're not playing standby targets in that deck.
Oh, I see what you mean. You're just incidentally playing standbys. It's not like the whole package.
Yep.
Alright, next card. Wibbs, we've wrapped around to you.
Adorable.
What the hell is wrong with this art? I can't get over her eyes. She looks so derpy.
Yeah, she does look pretty derpy.
Oh my god. Okay, it's a 2/1 Shizu combo, climax combo with a stock soul. When this is placed from hand to stage, choose one of your characters and the game plus 500 power equal to the number of demon constant characters on your board. And climax combo with the stock soul. Pay 1 when you reverse your opponent. You can pay the cost. If you do, choose a card in your opponent's waiting room and send it to memory.
Ooh.
So you can
Removes
memory
climaxes.
Climaxes.
That's not bad.
It is spicy.
No, you don't
That's
even really
not.
have to.
That's
you
not
don't
bad at
really-
all.
You don't even really have to try to snipe reverses. It gets fairly large on play.
You
I
can pump
almost
up
want to
and
give
pump
it an
something out.
F. I'm gonna give it an F plus.
I think this card has some potential.
It's interesting. I don't think it's great, but it's interesting.
It's bad.
Have you ever played PQ? Or like when PQ was like a deck, quote unquote. The level 1 combo removed climaxes from the game, and it fucking sucked.
Yeah, but this is like a reasonable cost. It's not like I know.
I
Konosuba
played
has
against
one
the
also that's
IMAS
like
deck that removes the climaxes, and that
Oh,
deck's
Dean.
garbage. Yeah.
Dean's deck.
Yeah.
There's like a Konosuba Wiz combo that removes climaxes,
God,
but it's like super expensive and difficult to use.
The only deck that takes advantage of removing climaxes is the Capo because it's on an event. If you have to dedicate a climax to removing their climaxes, you're like not really gaining anything.
If you're running a finisher that's just incidentally a finisher, right? Like if you can just cram 4 Musashis into something, or like 4 of like if you just want to go heavy on like an off finisher or something and just run this as your top end,
Well,
quote unquote top end
Musashis are gooder
option.
when your opponent cancels, right? Your opponent's not going to cancel if you're removing climaxes.
I guess so. I don't know. It's just I think if you wanted to run a deck,
Devil's advocate.
Oh, I'm not even devil's advocate. Like genuinely, like people shit on level 2 combos a lot, but if you have like another serviceable level 3 top end, it opens up some
I don't
space
know.
at level 2.
Good level 2
This is
combos.
like pretty solid.
When I think of good level 2 combos, I think of Makoto from Million Life.
If I can get double reverse with this, Carmen, let's say you get double reverse with this, would you play with just off
No.
finisher? Would you sacrifice your finisher to
No.
get rid of 2 of their climaxes?
No, never.
Really?
I just played double Makoto. If I was playing a level 2 on reverse combo, I'd just play Makoto. Makoto's broken.
Stop talking about Rogun. I'm talking like general.
No, this is Million Life. Makoto's broken. It's on reverse. Remove a card from your deck. Stock charge from your grave. That's broken.
We don't have Million Live in English, though.
What are you talking about?
We got Slime.
What? No, I mean, yeah, this is troll, but
I don't know what you're talking about. I actually like this card though. I think it has potential.
This is garbage.
I'm gonna give it a C. I think it's legitimately has potential.
Garbage.
You just need to have like some other top end that burns and is like
Ifrit.
Like what about that red one? The red card from
earlier.
Right,
you play 2. Your opponent's just before refresh. 2 reverses with this into a free in your 3rd lane. And you're at 2-6. You win. Broken.
That's spicy.
Alright,
even
whatever.
Just free. Use the level 3 off finisher.
Let's
the clock
just
shooter one.
Let's just move on. Who's this?
Why are you booing me? I'm right.
What?
This is you, I think, Carmen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Alright, we got this 2-1 Shuna. If there's a marker under this, it gets 500 times your Demon Continent characters.
All your other characters gain
500. All your other. Okay, so yeah. It's a
times
possible global level assist. And then you have to marker this fucking vanilla double F. Do not like.
Great.
I do not like it, Sam I am.
Look how stretchy he is, though.
Isn't the same Rimuru that goes off with the other 2-1? The one that gets an extra soul?
Yes.
The other one is much better than this. This is bleh.
Definitely gives a bit of like versatility to that whole package, but now you're dedicating even more spots to it.
I hate it.
I don't like it.
Alright. Who has this Benny Morrow? I think it's Wibbs. Wait, right? Are we reversed?
I don't know which way we're going.
I can do it.
Sure.
Somebody read this card.
Alright, it's a 2-2 Benny Mara. If you have 2 or more other characters, it's a 9500 and it has Hand Encore.
Stand by.
It's Jabril.
This is one of the worst 2-2 standby targets you could ever have.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Better than Jabril.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Jabril is also garbage. So.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever. Next card.
Oh, it's an event. I want to read this one.
Nope. It's my turn. We got this Malum event. 2-0 event. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your library. Choose 1 yellow character and up to 1 red character and up to 1 blue character. Reveal them to your opponent. Put them in your hand. Put the remaining cards in the waiting room. Discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. Potentially a +2?
No, it's +1 because you have to
+1. Yeah, you have to just.
But do you see that art? Look at that art. Look at how good it is. S+.
Yeah, the art is very good. Yeah, I agree. Huh.
Why would you have to discard off it? If you didn't have to discard, you could maybe +2 off it. Just seems too unreliable.
Yeah, this is bad.
I think I did the math once on this card, like just in a pure vacuum with like a bunch of random like color configurations, and I think on average 30% to +1, and then like 46% go +0. That sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, F bad card. All right, last one. This is burn event. Who has it?
Flaming Hell.
Oh, it's
It's
handy.
called Flaming Hell, and it deals 4 damage to your opponent. You could just run this instead of the Ifrit.
Wow, it's better
and
than
not
Mecha
kill yourself in
Jennifer.
the process.
So you play this with the climax combo that.
Wait, is this better or worse than Mecha Jennifer?
Mecha Jennifer is sick.
It's worse because Mecha Jennifer you can sort of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We love being able
Yeah.
to modulate our damage.
Get it?
Main phase burn is like you don't see that too often.
It's bad.
You don't see it that often because it sucks.
Yet another F.
I mean, if you're a hyper combo one-shot kill deck,
Yeah.
maybe you can make an argument for this kind of stuff, but no.
Nothing will ever beat Exploding Barrel from Batman.
Floating Barrel too broken.
Holy shit.
Isn't Exploding Barrel just this card, but it also damages you?
Yeah.
Yes. Literally same cost.
You gotta go for that double loss, bro.
Yeah. Well, you already got free for that.
That's how you go for Ifrit into Exploding Barrel. That'd be the trolliest fucking deck.
Oh
of all
yeah,
time.
this is Schwarz, right? So you could play that in standard.
I'm gonna go 0 and 8 today, and I'm gonna take everyone with me. Jesus.
All right, so like red, key cards, Shuna Brainstorm, Milam Stock Swap, Milam Off Finisher.
That's like really about it, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, like there's the back row, there's the ditch a card, there's the Rico on play, right?
Don't forget Ifrit.
And Ifrit. That's like it, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
red kind of sucks, honestly. That's why most lists don't really play like a whole lot of red, or like the red is just like Brainstorm, Stock Swap, and then Doors with the Million combo.
Yeah. This
And
seems
sometimes the Shuna, the 1-0.
color seems pretty garbage.
Andy's spicy pick from it. I really genuinely do like the Shizu 2-1 combo. I think that has a lot of potential, actually. But it is very
Climax
spicy
removal.
and unconventional.
Off Stock Soul. Stock Soul's broken, right, Brian?
I do love Stocksoul.
Alright. Alright, I think that's it for red. We'll see you guys in the next color.
See ya.